Hi guys. So Lori here with Beauty Simplified by Lori. I've had a ton of you reach out to me and say that you wanted me to slow it down a little bit so that you can kind of do your makeup right along with me, and this is going to be the video for that. Okay, so grab your makeup and your brushes, come right back here, and then we can get started. So hit that pause button. Then when you're back, hit the play button and we can get going. Okay, first things first. I always have to pull my hair back out of my way a little bit because when I put my contour on, if I put it on with my hair down, I end up getting contour in my hair. So that's not a good idea. All right, so you can always go ahead and start with a primer if you'd like. My favorite is this Becca Backlight primer. As you can see, I've gone through 2 bottles in 2.5 years. So about a bottle a year. So grab you some if you are wanting just a little bit of a primer to kind of help smooth out your skin a little bit so that it's like ready for the foundation. It also works really, really good because it gets really sticky, and that's what grabs onto the cream. Okay, here comes Nova. She likes to be in my videos. So I've already done my brows and they're a little bit dark, but I'm not too worried about it because when I go over it with my highlight, should be good to go. So first things first, if you want to do any color correcting, okay, I use Frenchie. Some people, I recommend Mango. They both work really, really good for like under eye, blue, purple, and yeah. I also use Aspen on my nose. Even though I didn't really need it today, I want to show you just kind of, and I just use my finger when I do any color correcting. So, but you can always use a brush as well. All right, first step, ladies. You can absolutely put your highlight on first, which is these colors, okay? I usually match you with 2 different colors of highlight. So you'll have a main color and a brightener. And that's just so that you can really get the dimension of the 3D effect. And most of us like to brighten a little bit more underneath our eyes. Then contour wise, I have a few in here. I'm just going to use one today so that I can kind of show you that you can absolutely get away with just one contour, but trust me, you'll be back for some more. So I like to contour first. The reason I do is because I feel like I get a nice, just one layer of makeup. But if you feel like you have a lot of redness or imperfections, you can go over your entire face with your main highlight first, okay? So I'm gonna dip into, I'm using the Detail Hack brush. Love this one for contour. The Buffy brush also works really good for contour as well. So, and if you have questions about what brush you're using and if it's working or not, reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. So I'm gonna dip into Indigo. Looks super dark and scary, right? And I'm putting on just half of my brush, okay? Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually, let's just start up here so I can like walk you through it nice and easy. What I want you to do is just kind of start to build that contour up. You're kind of framing your face, okay? So I'll take the contour and bring it about down to here. And this, for one thing, shrinks my forehead. But for another, it gives me a nice warm glow because I have a lot of colors down here in my chest and neck. So what I'm trying to do is bring that contour and kind of like match everything together. So while you're doing this, I'm just gonna keep talking. You keep playing with the contour, building it up. Remember, you can't mess up cream, you guys. The cream blends so good. So just have some fun. See how that already started to like bring my forehead down a little bit? And then here underneath my cheek, keep that contour tucked right up underneath that cheekbone, okay? Now I cut mine a little bit right here because I have such a long, narrow face. And you always want to make sure you don't bring the contour in any further than your eye. like the center of your eye. Stay away from these areas here. And if you're not getting enough color payoff, try dabbing instead of swiping. I always start at the top of my ear, bring it downward, and I always blend upwards, okay? Then down here along your underneath, if you have any skin that's kind of sagging down like this, you really want to take that contour and kind of hide that, okay? So it's almost like you're on top here of your face, but once you get it blended in, it's gonna be perfect. And I just kind of pull it underneath and drag it down, okay? Hopefully you guys are with me. And remember, when you start with anything, it always takes a little bit longer, but once you get used to the cream and what you're doing, you're gonna be blown away at how fast it is, okay? So now I've got my contour on. It's not perfect. Don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then we're gonna go in with, I'm using this brush. This is the Best Blend Forever brush. The Buffy brush works great for this. This end of the B² brush. You can also use your 30-second hack brush for this application. And I'm just going to use, I'm just gonna use this one, and I'm gonna use this fluffy end, and I'm gonna take my main color, okay? So get some color on your brush like this, and we're just gonna kind of start to apply it everywhere where there isn't contour. So you're kind of almost coming right up to the two of them together and kind of blending the two together. I always start down here on my jawline. You can start up here. And you're just going to softly start to build up the coverage. I love this brush because it gives me a really nice light finish. If you like more of a full coverage finish, you're gonna want the Buffy brush. It does an amazing job with full coverage. And I am just gonna kind of, I'm still using that same color. I'm using Candlelit, but your color is specific to your skin tone and color. So, and if you need help with a color issue, let me know. If you are putting the makeup on and you are noticing, especially underneath your eyes and anywhere where you have a lot of texture, and it's making the texture look worse, just know that it very well could be a color issue, and it's a quick and easy adjustment. Okay, so I'm just kind of blending all of them together. Not worrying too much about the contour line. Just look down here in my little mirror, make sure. And I've put some on my eyelid, but have some fun blending it out, and be soft and look at your face and begin to see the beauty in your face, because we're all individuals and every one of us is beautiful. I love this process because I feel like it's helped me see the beauty in my face and not just the things that I don't like. Okay, so now that I've got my main color on and my contour color, I'm actually gonna go into this one right here, which is my brightening highlight. So it will be the lighter of the two shades that I've recommended for you. And I'm going to create this triangle with it being a little bit lighter, okay? So you can see it just kind of brightens up my under eye. Isn't that pretty? So I'm just putting a little bit more on my brush and starting to tap. And hopefully I'm going slow enough that you're able to do your makeup right alongside. I'm actually thinking of doing something called Lessons with Lori. How fun would that be? Where we jump on a Zoom meeting, you guys bring your makeup, we all sit together and do our makeup together, okay? I think it would be so fun. And we can talk. You can ask all your questions. I can make sure you're applying it right. I'm gonna take a little bit of the brightening highlight here. Just kind of bring those two together. A little bit of brightening right here on my upper lip and right here on my chin. So it brings really nice attention to the center of my face. Okay, now I'm going to go in and do a nose contour. This is an extra part. This is not something you have to do. I'm using the detail hack and I'm just going right into indigo, just on the side. And I'm going to run 2 lines right down kind of the side of my nose, but I want you guys to realize it's almost on top of the nose, okay? And what this does is makes your nose look thinner. You can make it look shorter, but it's just a really fun thing that you can do with stuff that's already in your palette. Now I'm just gonna use the detail hack, go into this side here, and I'm gonna bring it right down the center of my nose. Okay, see how I'm brightening that up right there? And then I'm just gonna kind of use this brush and just kind of tap, 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 kind of brush down on the sides, make sure it's somewhat blended. You guys, if you blend your nose contour all the way away, you're not going to get the magic of the nose contouring like option, okay? So keep that in mind. You still want to see a little bit of the line, but obviously you still want it to look natural. I'm gonna take a little bit of contour, just put it underneath my bottom lip, just like that. Blush, let's talk about blush. The important part of blush is you wanna make sure that when you're smiling, you're applying it kind of right here at the apple and then pulling it backwards. So I'm gonna take a color that's a little bit darker so that you can see. I'm gonna use Sandstone and I'm just using the same little brush. And this brush works so good if you're like nervous about where you're placing blush. And I'm just gonna smile and I'm gonna tap it right there. Okay, and I'm bringing it backwards. And I'm just gonna kind of swirl. Okay, see how pretty that is? So sometimes people are nervous about blush. They've never worn blush, and so they are worried that they need to wear like bright pink or something like that. This color is called Sandstone. It's such a natural color. I actually think it's like the prettiest color for like a bronze look. And see how I brought it in a little bit too far? That's okay. I'm just gonna flip that brush over and blend it out. That's the magic of cream. Let's put a little bit more on this side. Pretty, right? Illuminator. Illuminator is the last step in the 3D foundation. I'm just gonna use this one right here. It's a cream illuminator. One of my favorites is honey. So if you haven't tried honey, grab it. This one is called Dulce. It's a limited edition. So when you watch this, you may not have this as an option, but honey is like ride or die cream illuminator. Okay, super pretty. Let's put a little bit of the lip and cheek that I used on my cheeks, on my lips. Sandstone's so pretty. It's also a really good color to like build another color on top. So like I have Sandstone, now I'm gonna go over it with a little bit of Tropicana. Tropicana has a little bit more of a shine to it, whereas Sandstone is a matte. So if you're looking for certain colors, let me know. You guys, That's the 3D foundation. Okay, let's set it with some setting spray. And I like just the setting spray unless I'm going out and know it's gonna be like really hot, really humid, and I'm just gonna be like dripping with sweat. Then I will go in with a powder. I love a loose setting powder. This one is the Magic Powder by Charlotte Tilbury. I'm obsessed with it. It really is magic. And I will put it on sometimes before I put my setting spray or after I put my setting spray. That is like, setting your makeup is so important. And if you are struggling with how to set your makeup, let me know and we will get you squared away. So last but not least, I wanted to show you a little bit about bronzer. Bronzer is one of those things that many times people, especially if you're new to highlighting and contouring, you're like, why do I need a bronzer if I already put something brown? I just want you guys to watch. I'm just gonna use the small end of the blush and bronzer brush, and I'm just gonna dip into Bella Cream Bronzer, and I'm going to start to give myself a little bit of a suntan with some bronzer. So everywhere where I would normally like get sunburned if I was to go outside and be kissed by the sun, that's kind of where you want to place it. So it's usually higher than the contour, because the contour is here, down here, and it's a shadow, whereas Bella Bronzer is such a pretty option, especially if you're feeling like maybe you need a little bit more color. Get Bella Bronzer, it's so pretty. Okay, last thing is, if you wanted to add a really, really bright highlight, this one here is called Linen. I'm just gonna use the small end of this brush, and I'm just gonna dip into, and I'm gonna pop it right here in the inner corners of my eyes. And I do this because it really brightens right there, and I love the cream on my eyes. So many times people will put like an illuminator there to really brighten. With me and my like aging skin, I don't want to put something too shiny. And so that's why I love using a cream highlight to brighten. You guys, that is it for the 3D foundation. Okay, so let me know if you want help with a color change, or if it's winter now or summer and your color needs to adjust. It's so easy to just change up one or two of these colors depending on what's happening. Maybe you went on a beach vacation or something like that and now you're all tan. Guess what? We can just get you a new one of these. 14 bucks will last you probably a year, especially if you're only using it occasionally when you get super, super sun-kissed. So let me know if you guys have any questions about it. It's really, really easy. A couple of different brushes and you are good to go. Many times you can get away with one brush. I always like, my absolute favorite brushes are like this combination, which is the Detail Hack and the Blush and Bronzer brush, or the Detail Hack and this one here is the Best Blend Forever brush. Okay, so I'm happy to help you troubleshoot through your makeup, but let me know if you would like lessons with Lori and we'll get that going. I think it would be super fun. So thanks for watching, and know that I'm here for you, and we will see you guys on the next video.